I'm Hilaryn Shohoney. I'm the manager of development for Free Geek. I'd like to thank you all for having us here. It's very rare that we have a reach out from a group that wants to just help support us instead of buy swag. So that was really wonderful. I'm going to try to keep this as fun as possible, but spoiler alert, I work in development, and development in nonprofit land means I'm a fundraiser. I'm going to ask you for money. So you can see this slide here. I want you to remember the woman in the orange. And I also want you to remember the tagline, including everyone in our digital future. At Free Geek, that is our massive transformative purpose. That's how we think about all the work we do, is what we're doing, including people in our digital future. I'm going to explain to you what that means, and I did write myself notes so that I don't get too excited. But what is Free Geek? So at Free Geek, our mission is to sustainably reuse technology, enable digital access, and provide education to create a community that empowers people to realize their potential. That's a really big mission statement, and it's really hard to unpack, but I want to give you all the simplest explanation that I was given when I first learned about Free Geek. Free Geek takes two societal problems, so e-waste that's generated. If you think about it, there are more smartphones in the world than there are people. And it points that problem back at the problem of the digital divide, which is where I want to focus a lot of our talk today. What is the digital divide? What does it mean? So digital divide is solved by this thing we like to call digital inclusion. And what digital inclusion is the idea that people will have a device that they can access the internet with, internet access, educational support to use those devices, and tech support. And there's a new line that they've added, which actually relates to you all very closely. It's inclusive web building practices so that others that don't necessarily have the same access can interact with your websites in the same way. So when we think about what we do, we're doing sustainable reuse. So we are a responsible recycler and technology reuse facility. Free Geek has been around since 2000. We occupy about 25,000 square feet in central southeast Portland. And process about 1 million pounds of e-waste every year. So that's computers that we can't actually reuse. But our biggest goal is to reuse as many devices as possible and get them into the hands of those that need them. So digital access is one of our biggest pillars. We connect our volunteers, local nonprofits, K-12 students, and certain folks who've been referred to us through a program to technology. And we grant out about 1,300 devices a year, but it really depends on how much need we see. And then we teach about 2,000 hours of community education annually in our classroom. So I'm not going to get to the impact report yet. I want to tell you a couple of stories about why it matters. So the woman that I pointed out to you on the first slide, her name is Batula. And Batula is a part of our Welcome to Computers class. What Welcome to Computers is a 6-week culturally inclusive course where we work with local groups around the Portland metro area to identify those who don't have access to a device and don't have the basic skills to use the device. So when Batula joined our cohort, she was referred to us by a housing group here locally, low-income housing, and she had never used a mouse before. So I don't know if you can all imagine this, but we had a conversation with Batula about how to use a mouse for the first time, how to get online for the first time, how to use a computer for the first time. Batula is now a paid translator and instructor for these classes. We teach about 300 students through these classes every year. We provide childcare, food, translation services, and at the end of these classes, everyone receives a free device. They also get free tech support from Free Geek for that device. We also have a program called Plug into Portland. What Plug into Portland is a way that students throughout the Portland metro area can connect to technology. A lot of students, I think it's something like 30% of students nationwide don't have access to a computer. I know that seems foreign to a lot of folks. But we had this really wonderful student, Lenore, who volunteered for 24 hours. She volunteered at what she called an old folks home. I'm not sure what the correct term is, but she read bingo cards for people. And then when she was done with her service, she came in and received her free computer from Free Geek. I interviewed Lenore on the phone. It was one of the most impactful experiences of my career. And when I talked to Lenore, what she said to me was, Hilary, there's this whole world out there, and I never got to see it before. She's 11 years old. Our community education and volunteer programs, like I was mentioning earlier, serve about 2,000 individuals per year. One of the program participants there is named Kayla. Kayla's a really amazing student. She actually ended up interning for us. She was, at that time, a junior in high school and did not have a computer at home. She volunteered for us, worked with us, took hundreds of classes with us, and now Kayla is a freshman in college, and she is using her Free Geek computer to study. She's going to Portland State University. When I talked to Kayla and I asked her what she's going to use her computer for, she said, I've been typing my term papers on my phone. I'm so excited to be able to type it on a computer. Sorry, this story always chokes me up. So why is this connected to me? Why does this matter to me? I grew up without a computer. So I'm one of those 30% of students who didn't have access. I graduated college in 2016, and I graduated using a Free Geek computer. Sorry, I always cry. I want to show you a little bit of the impact that we've had in the past year. Ooh, hold on. I'm breaking the system. Oh. Brad. Help me. Yeah.
All right. Do you remember what that URL is?
It's just impact.freegeek.org.
Okay. Thank you. I'm going to type wrong. I did. I typed
You're
wrong.
great.
I knew
You're
it.
doing great.
Okay.
I'm the one who screwed up, not you.
No, that was me. I didn't have it ready.
All right. This is not currently the full screen, but it's going to be the full screen in a minute. There we go. All right. I apologize for the Wi-Fi. So this is our mission report. Those 3 pillars of our mission: sustainable reuse, education, and digital access. We've all highlighted out into what we did in this past year. So in the past year, we recycled 1.35 million pounds of e-waste. This is the number I'm least excited about. We enabled digital access. So last year, we were able to give away 1,288 computers. This is another student who received a computer from us, and she wanted a desktop machine, not a laptop machine, but students do receive laptops, and she's hugging the machine that she received. We also provided a record amount of education. So last year we had 4,497 learner hours. And you can see this is one of the classrooms with Welcome to Computers. You can see Batula there in the background. She's one of my favorites. And how can you help Free Geek? How can you help make our mission possible? So one of the major ways that people help us is we have about 40,000 volunteer hours that are given to us every year. Most of our classes are taught by volunteer instructors. And all of that recycling that was done helps support our mission, and that is all done by volunteers. Last year, we served a total of 35,000 people in the Portland metro area. And we were recognized multiple times for our work in the community. This is a letter from our executive director that you don't need to read. This is our beautiful staff. You can also support us by donating your technology to Free Geek. All of you work for universities. I would love to encourage you to go back to the places that you work and ask them to give technology to either Free Geek or an organization like ours. And then you can give money. So money helps support us in the way that is probably most meaningful. I can't pay instructors to teach classes like Batula's class. I need food, I need translation, and I need to be able to get people basic technology. So right now, one of my major issues is that we don't have enough hard drives to give away the computers that we want to give away. So in order to give, we're going to use some technology. So I imagine that many of you have cell phones. And if you have a cell phone, you can break it out right now, and I'll give you the information to give. The way that you give is you text Give Geek to the number 44321. Again, that's Give Geek to 44321. And I know that Jennifer set a goal of $3,000 for us for this, and I want to quantify that for you all. $3,000 is exactly half of what it takes to put on one of our Welcome to Computers cohorts that serves 30 students. $6,000 is the total. So if you all can reach that goal, you'll help us provide 15 students with a computer and the skills that they need to use it. That's all I have. Thank you.